Before traveling to India, I watched more than 100 videos and read so many blogs, but nobody told me these things. And because of that, in my very first trip to India, I lost hundreds of dollars, missed a flight, and made so many beginner mistakes. So, if you are planning to travel to India, especially for the first time, this video can save a lot of money, stress, and problems. Hello hotel lovers, welcome back to another video. I'm super excited about this one because finally I'm sharing some kind of tips that nobody talk about it online. India is an amazing country, but it is super different from other countries in the world. And I think this is the main reason that I believe that everyone have to travel to this amazing country. But if you travel there without knowing these things, you can easily lose lots of money and waste so many time. As an Iranian traveler, I learned lots of these things during my trip in a very hard way. So in this video, I'll share all tips I wish someone had told me before I went there for the first time. Let's start with the first tip. Trust me, this one only can save $300 to $800. On my first trip to India, I was there with 10 friends. We stayed there for 15 days and also we had some kind of domestic flights. In Iran, for domestic flight, it's okay to arrive 1.5 to 2 hours before your flight. So through this conception, we arrived at the airport around 2 hours earlier from our flight from Mumbai to Goa. But when we arrived there, we totally shocked. There was a huge line outside of the airport just to enter the building. First, they check the passport and tickets before allowing people inside. I'm just laughing right now because it was funny on that right now, but on that time, I just wanted to cry all the time. And when we finally entered the airport, the gate was already closed. We missed the flight, wasted around 5 hours at the airport, and had to buy another ticket. It was crazy because we had never experienced something like that before. And also we had my parents as well. Mom and dad was there, and imagine that they had to wait something around 5 hours because of our mistake. So if you have a domestic flights in India, especially in big cities like Mumbai or Delhi, try to arrive at the airport something around 3 hours earlier. Believe me, it can save lots of stress from you. Tip number 2 is usually work in many countries, but it can help you a lot in India because the rate is much worse than inside the city. And through my experience in India, sometimes people can give you a better exchange rate in compared to even exchange officers. You can find these people easily inside the city, but be sure that they are not a scam. I also found so many people during my trips in India that they exchanged our money with a very good rate and they were very trustworthy, and I did it so many times during lots of trips, and even I did for my friends when they travel to India. So I'll put their number in the description and you can call them and tell them that you're coming from Shakiba. This tip is very useful for those who need internet all the time. Try to buy your SIM card at the airport. If you want a tourist SIM card, it's much more easier to buy it at the airport. Outside the airport, the process can be different and sometimes impossible for the tourists to get the SIM card. But at the airport, they usually do everything for you. You can get SIM card valid for 30 days with 1 gig internet per day and also unlimited calls during these 30 days. The cost is something around $6 to $7, but before coming to India, some of the people told us that if you go inside the city, you can find out the better price. But when we went inside the city, wherever we went to get the SIM card, they told us that we need a valid number from somebody in India. And if you don't have anybody to share their number, to share their information, it will be so much difficult for you to get the SIM card. And I think when we got our SIM card in our first trip, it's only past 7 days from our journey. So I highly recommend you, if you need any kind of tourist SIM card, try to buy it at the airport. Install Uber and Ola. If your hotel do not provide any kind of transfer, I recommend you to install Uber and Ola before traveling to India. Airport taxis can be very expensive. You cannot imagine. But with these two apps, you can compare prices and find a better rate and save lots of money, especially in the first ride. Trains are amazing in India, but choose carefully. Trains in India are actually amazing for traveling between cities. One big advantage is about luggage. Many domestic flights in India are allow only 50 kilogram baggages, but trains are much more flexible. So trains not only are much more cheaper, but also can save a lot of money. But you need to be careful because India has many different type of trains, from luxury trains to very basic one. For a comfortable experience, I recommend you to book first class, second class, and third class with AC. The AC part is very important, and this kind of trip are much more comfortable and much more cleaner. And if you're traveling for a long trip with train, I highly recommend you to bring some kind of food or snacks with yourself, especially if you're like me that you don't like this kind of spicy snacks. Have a plan before traveling to India. India is huge. Seriously huge. If you are travel without plan, you may suddenly realize that 20 days have passed and you are still in your first city. It's also important to know where you want to stay, or at least which neighborhood you prefer. Finding hotels in India can make you very tired because it's very big, and also finding the right hotel in a right location can be very difficult for the people, especially in their first trip. I also made a video about how you can find the best hotels and how you can realize which hotels can be trustworthy or not. You can check the video here, but for this part, I highly recommend you to at least know which neighborhood you prefer. Depends on you, the places that you want to go and you want to visit. I love this part and I love these tips because it's about their culture. Learn how to bargain, because bargaining is part of Indian culture. If you don't bargain, you may end up paying 2 or 3 times more than real price. So always smile and negotiate politely. During our first trip, my dad and I usually start with the half price that they offer us first for the first time. And if they don't accept, sometimes politely, we get away from that shop, and he came to us and asked us that, okay, that price would be fine. So because my dad also and myself also always have smile in our face and try to make some kind of jokes with them, so they enjoy from talking with us. They gave us very good price, something like 2 times or 3 times less the price than they offered us for the first time. Buy water always from supermarket. It's much more safer to buy water from supermarket instead of buying from random vendors inside the city. Sometimes the bottles sold on the street are not sealed or original, and trust me, becoming sick during this journey can be very bad for you. Indian food are very spicy. First of all, Indian food are very delicious, but they are very spicy. In a very good restaurant, you can usually ask them to do not make the food spicy, or at least make it less spicy. And actually, I myself love the food when they become less spicy, but you can only ask in high-class restaurant. For example, in local restaurant, you cannot usually ask to make it less spicy. People may ask for photos with you. Honestly, during my trip in India, I truly felt that I'm a celebrity sometimes. Especially as an Iranian with a fair skin, usually they ask us to take photos with us, especially if you are a woman. And men and even women wanted to take photos with you. At first you may shocked, but Indians are very hospitable, very friendly, and very curious about your nationality and about your religion. So if you are a traveler, don't feel uncomfortable or angry from them. Just stay respectful, try to take photos with them, and always be careful about your money and your pockets. So these are all travel tips that I wish I knew before my first trip to India. Honestly, if I had known this kind of trip, my first trip to India would be much more easier, smoother, and also safer, even safer. I hope this video helped you to travel much more smarter and had less mistakes in compared to us. And as always, if you know any kind of other tips that can help other travelers to travel smarter, just write out in the comment, because as you know, Stay with Shakiba is all about experience of traveling. And as always, travel smart, not disappointed. This is Shakiba. خدافز.